Okay, good morning, my friends. I see Jack and Violet, and Blackie will maybe come join us in a minute, but we're going to start the day with our breaths. So, Violet, if you want to take one more bite of snack and then swallow and finish so we can start our breaths, because, like we talked yesterday, it's not always so good to have food in our mouth when we're trying to do our breaths. You take a big sip of water. Perfect. Jack, I see you have your lovey in your mouth. Maybe take the lovey out so we can do And I think today we're just going to do our bear breath. Yesterday we did our seated mountain breath, but today we're going to do our bear breath to get started.
Okay,
So ready? Jack, Violet, are we ready?
Jack.
All right, ready? Here we go. We're going to in, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3. Out as slowly as you can. Ready? In, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3. Out as slowly as you can. And we're going to do it one more time for good luck because I think we all need some good luck this weekend. Ready? Big breath in. Here we go. In, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3. Out as slowly as you can. Whew, that made me feel so calm and relaxed. Jack and Violet, do you feel calm and relaxed? No? Well, maybe the book. Here we go. So today we're going to read a book. This is a book that Brigitte brought right to my door. She delivered it right to my house, and it's not a book I've read before, but I think it's going to be a good one. It's called Library Mouse. You see the mouse is standing over a book about a cat.
Press the button that matches the book you would like to read. Press the button that matches the book you would like to read.
Here we go. Sam was a library mouse. His home was in a little hole in the wall behind the children's reference books, and he thought that life was very good indeed. Here he is. Here's Sam's tiny little home. Every day when the library was full of people walking up and down the aisles, studying and checking out books and working on the computers, Sam was curled up in his little hole, sound asleep. Every night when the people went home and the room was dark and quiet, the library belonged to Sam. So here's the library during the day with all the friends. And here's the library at night when it belongs to Sam. And every night Sam read and he read and he read and he read. He read picture books and chapter books and biographies and poetry. He read cookbooks and sports books, fairy tales, ghost books, and even mysteries by the dozen. Remember yesterday we read about bats at the library, so today we have Sam at the library. Can you guys see me? Yeah, okay. Said the connection was unstable. All right. Sam's mind was filled with facts and information and images of faraway places, and his imagination brimmed over with wonder and fantasy. One night, Sam decided it was time to write a book of his own. He's gonna make a book. Sam folded over some little squares of paper he took from the librarian's desk. That's what made the pages. Then he found a pencil that he'd rolled underneath a shelf and he began to write. Write what you know. Sam had read in a book about writing, so Sam wrote about being a mouse. He drew the pictures for his book by posing in his little mirror and sketching what he saw. Sam worked very, very, very hard, and finally his first book was done. He called it Squeak, A Mouse's Life, and he wrote on the cover words and pictures by Sam. So he went to the autobiography section of the library and tucked his first book onto the shelf, and he went back to his little hole in the wall and waited. So he added the book to the library so somebody could check it out if they wanted to. The next afternoon, sunlight streamed in through the library windows. "What's this?" asked a girl whose teacher had sent her to the library to do a book report. "I've never seen anything like that before," said the librarian, and she put Squeak, a mouse's life, on the desk, and later she showed it to the other librarians. So the little girl found Sam's book. Sam decided to write another book. It was called The Lonely Cheese, and working on the book made him feel so hungry. It was a good thing that he always found so many crumbs to eat by the trash basket in the hallway. When he'd finished the illustration, Sam scurried to the picture book section and proudly placed his latest book on the shelf. Then he went back to the little hole in the wall, and he waited. So here's The Lonely Cheese on the bookshelf. The next morning, sunlight streamed in through the library windows. "What's this?" asked a little boy who was looking for a big book about trucks. "It's another book by Sam," said the librarian. "Just who is this Sam?" she thought to herself as she put The Lonely Cheese on her desk. Later, she showed it to the children at story time, kind of like we're doing now. Having a story time. Here's the boy who found the lonely cheese. Sam decided to write a chapter book. It was called The Mystery of Mouse Mansion. It gave Sam goosebumps when he wrote the scary parts. The full moon was shining down through the windows of the darkened library when Sam crept over to the mystery section and sneakily placed his book on the shelf. Then he went back to his little hole in the wall and he waited. And look, when he wrote this book, he's wearing a detective outfit because it's a mystery. The next day, sunlight streamed in through the library windows. "What's this?" asked a teenager who was looking for a good, creepy book to read before bed. "We have got to find out who this Sam is," said the librarian. "I'll leave a note on the bulletin board and tell him that I would like to meet our new author." So she put The Mystery of Mouse Mansion on her desk, and later she showed it to the writing class that came in after school. That night, Sam found the note. So here she is, and this is the picture of the note. And the note said, "Dear Sam, all of us at the library have been enjoying your books immensely. We're all wondering who this mysterious Sam really is. Whoever you are, you certainly have a lot of talent. Not everyone has it in them to write even a single book, let alone 3. We think it would be so fun to have a Meet the Author Day with you as our special guest. The children would love to hear you read your books and share some of your secrets for writing. Yours truly, Mrs. Forrester, Head Librarian." So he's reading the note, and look at his face. He looks so happy and overwhelmed that the friends are enjoying his books. Sam felt nervous. He was so happy that the children at the library liked his books. He was flattered that they even wanted to meet him. But mice, as a rule, are very, very shy when it comes to meeting people. Sam could not understand why people thought that writing and making up stories was so hard. If only they would try, they might find out that writing was really lots of fun. So Sam had an idea. He went to the librarian's desk, got some supplies, and all night long he wrote and drew and snipped and folded and stapled his little rectangles of paper into mouse-sized books. Look, just like we did on Tuesday with the folding paper. Remember we made folding paper? He folded some paper and he stapled it to make his book. And here he is feeling very nervous. In the morning, when the librarian opened up the children's room, there was a sheet of paper taped to the door. "Meet the author today," it read. A little girl was the first to see Sam's display, all set up on the front table. "What is this?" she asked. There sat a tissue box with a pair of pencils taped to the sides and a banner stretched across the top. On the banner was written, "Meet the author," with an arrow pointing down. I wonder what's in that box. The girl bent over to look in the empty tissue box. "Oh," she said in surprise, for there at the bottom of the box lay Sam's little mirror, and in the mirror the little girl saw her own face smiling up at her. "Me?" she said. "An author?" Next to the mirror was a stack of tiny blank books and a pile of pencils that Sam had sharpened with his little teeth. Here she is seeing herself in the bottom of the box. And here's Sam sharpening the pencils with his teeth. All that day and for many more thereafter, people came to the little display to meet the author. Soon there was a whole shelf full of books written and illustrated by people who had never even written a book before, telling stories that had never been told. So here's the friends at the library writing their books. And here's the books they made. And some of the stories they wrote say, "When I Grow Up," "The Perfect Pet," "Zip Zoom," which is a story about a car, "The Adventures of Me." So they all wrote stories about things that felt important to them. Sam was a library mouse. His home was in a little hole in the wall behind the children's reference books. All that night, Sam sat in his hole, thinking and thinking about the next book he would write. Would it be a mystery, an adventure, a funny book, a true story? There were so many stories to tell. Aha! I'll just have to write one of each. And so he picked up his pencil and he got to work. What do we say at the end of a book? The end. The end. Okay. So, all right, we only have 2 minutes. All right, today we are going to work on making our own books, just like Sam the Library Mouse. So, let's see, violins. Okay. So do you remember how we've been working on our guidebooks at school? And Laura and Stephanie, if you want to.
I can see Jack's fish tank behind him.
Yeah, you can find him.
His head.
Yeah. Jack's fish tank behind him.
Oh yeah, there is a fish tank behind him.
Oh, hold on.
Jack, do you have fish in your fish tank?
On there.
On the fish.
Mommy, you were on the symbol.
I know. Here's change the view.
Okay, so remember how we've been working on our guidebook at school?
Let's listen to our teachers. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. And our guidebook at school, we have been, I wish I had a picture of it to show, but I don't. We have been working on making a list of our materials for our obstacle course, and we've been doing some writing about the materials, and we've been doing some writing and some drawing about how we use the obstacle course. So today we are going to make our own book, but here's how we're going to do it. You can choose. You have some big pieces of paper. So I have some big pieces of paper here. There's also, at least in my pack, and I hope in yours too, there are some little pieces of paper. So I have some that have some stars and some polka dots, and this one looks like it's the Constitution or a postcard. So here are my little pieces of paper. So you can choose. Do you want a big book made of big paper, or do you want a little library book like Sam made with his little library mouse paper? So those are your choices. So our first choice is big book, little book. So once you've decided, hold up the paper that you're going to use, or a magic wand. Jack, are you choosing the big paper?
Paper do we want?
I like what you're choosing.
You
I like to choose the big paper or the little paper.
want to do the big and little?
You know.
Yeah, there's some cool ones.
That's good. I think I'm going to do it.
Ooh, there's polka dots. It matches your shirt.
All right, Brigitte chose big paper. Nice.
Yeah.
So once you choose your paper, hold it up because we're gonna work on some folding that we did earlier in the week. So hold up your paper. Perfect. Perfect. Hold it up. Beautiful. Love it. So what we're gonna do, I'll flip mine around so you can see, is we are going to fold our paper in half. So do you remember on Tuesday, maybe it was on Wednesday, we had paper that had 2 different colored dots and we had to match the dots together. Now we're folding it and we're gonna match the side.
Can you fold it like she's folding it? See how she's doing it?
Oh, Violet, I think we have the same piece of paper, huh?
Yeah. So fold it in half. You got it.
Ready? I'll
Remember
show you again.
we dot to dot and we went like this?
Yep.
Can you match the corners?
Match the corners and then you
Yeah. And then
Yep.
squeeze
Squish
on the
crease
crease.
down.
That's right. No. Okay. Did you hit it?
Perfect. And then once you folded it, you have the beginning of a book. Did it work for you, Jack? Oh, that's a good looking book. Violet, did it work for you?
Yeah, show her your book. Show
That's
how you open it up. And you open it up like a book.
beautiful.
We put our pages inside.
It's a book. Okay, ready? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take another piece of paper. So put your one book to the side. Here, ready? Put your one book to the side. And then pick another piece of paper. If you chose a big piece of paper to start, choose another big piece of paper. If you chose a small piece of paper,
Oh, the violet one. That's a good one.
which one did you choose?
I know.
Violet?
Watch.
Ooh, purple. We love purple.
Can you watch her?
I'm doing like Sam.
Oh yeah, that's good. I don't have a stapler.
Stapler.
Okay, here we go.
I can see you.
Ready? We're gonna do another folding. Violet, I see you're watching so intently. Love that. We're gonna do another folding. Violet, can you do another folding?
Hold it again.
I can put this one.
That's great, Beth.
Beautiful.
Good.
Selling a paper.
Yeah, and there's a book.
Beautiful folding. And ready? What? So this is the next step. We're gonna take.
It's like we're doing applesauce and yogurt.
It's like I'm doing applesauce and yogurt. Okay. Okay. So we have 2 books now, right?
Take the abstract interpretation. Okay, we have 2 books. Ready? So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna put one book inside the other book.
Oh.
Like that.
You see that? Which one do you want? Which one do you want to go inside?
Now we have pages.
Look.
Look at that. Now our book has pages.
Which one do you want to go inside versus outside? You choose.
Okay, Lena, I made you a book. You can write your own story. You're such a good writer.
You can write a classroom story.
Several pages. Oh no, it goes. It match the creases. So like this.
Good. I see Jack and Fernanda. That's great. You have your own
We should,
book.
maybe we should do-
Now it's me another.
I know.
Now, do you want to make one more? We can make one more before we start.
We're gonna
Jack,
do more pages. That's a good idea.
if you wanted to make one more folding.
Now green.
Oh, not 2. No, you have to make it so it matches. Remember? So we need to do corner to corner.
Yep. Corner to corner.
That, and then can you squish it on the crease? You want to make another one? Ooh, I like the stars.
Here's another one.
Violet,
Yeah, we
I
can
love that one.
Many pages as you want.
Violet, isn't that one so
Little books are the best.
They
Yeah.
are.
You see that? Oh, you have 2 of them.
Nice.
Ooh, they're
Jack,
different.
that's great. I love a big green page.
We
like
had
that.
that one.
Yeah, we do have that one. This one? Or the green, this one.
Mr. Lena, look, we had the same one again.
Well, let me see.
Which is your favorite?
Oh yeah, look at that. Gorgeous.
You want to use that one for another page? We can do lots of pages.
Yeah, we can make a
How
million.
long do you want the book to be?
Wow, look at Jack's book. Thank you, Stephanie.
Oh, that's actually Fernanda. That's
Oh, Fernanda, sorry with the basket. Hi, Stephanie.
Yeah, she's the new au pair, guys.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hi, Fernanda. Welcome to America.
Thank you.
Welcome. Hopefully we'll see you next week.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Violet, that looks spectacular. Ready? So we're gonna do the same thing we did with our first 2 pages. We're gonna take our little book. We're just gonna slide it
Inside. Can you put it inside?
in. Slide it inside.
Nice. Got lots of pages.
Beautiful.
And then
Good job, Violet. Violet and Laura. Good job, Violet. Perfect folding.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And push it along the crease. Squish, squish, squish. How many pages do you have? Do you want to count them?
Yeah, are you so proud?
Many.
Beautiful, Violet. Beautiful. I'm going to add one more to mine.
Good job.
2 and 3 and
One more.
and 5. I have 5 pages.
You have 5 pages back?
Hmm?
That's great.
Uh-oh, you lost it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Feel great.
After you're done.
The book is flying.
Gotta jump off, you guys.
Sounds good. Bye,
Thanks for
Jessica.
meeting
Have a
us,
great day.
Jessica.
Bye. Miss you.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, friends, so here we have, you should have your own little book. And you know what the most fantastic part about this book is? Is you can write anything you want. You can draw some pictures in it. You could take some photos of your family. You could draw a picture of your levy or an obstacle course or your friends that you miss in school.
Ooh. Remember Jack drew the pumpkins?
Oh yeah, Jack, when we did
Jack
when we did
Colotte.
some pumpkins, we made some Jack.
And Violet, you remember how to draw your family?
You want to draw?
Violet,
That would be
remember when we drew your family? Circle? You're very good at drawing people now. You want to try?
Oh, okay. I'll get the ones. Yeah.
Yeah, we can take it. Does Jack, do you have markers next to you? Does he have drawing?
I'll get you some crayons.
You're
Okay?
waving.
We could do a little, how about maybe, oh,